Roborock S7 Robot Vacuum Review. The first hybrid robot vacuum mop I'd actually use. Finally, a hybrid robot vacuum and mop that we can trust to not ruin the rugs. Roborock S7 Review. Cleaning performance. Vacuuming with the Roborock S7 was a fairly quick exercise. It's a relatively fast and thorough cleaner that offers strong overall performance. Because it uses Lidar for mapping, the vacuum was able to completely map my first floor in one run. Once a map is established, the S7 cleans methodically, outlining the edges of a room, then working in an S-shaped pattern. It's gentle, too. Like most mapping robots, it slows down as it approaches a perceived obstacle. I watched it carefully approach a steps tool, clean underneath it, then back away. It bumped into the stool legs a couple of times, but never enough to move it. In our lab tests, the S7 earned an overall score of 92.97, not quite as good as its vacuum-only sibling, the S4 Max, but slightly better than the iRobot Room by 7 and Roborock S6 Max. This vacuum performed best on hardwood, earning an average pickup rate of 95.4%, but it held its own on our carpet tests with an average pickup rate of 90.54%. On hardwood, the Roborock S7 picked up 96.8% of the Cheerios strewn about the test area. That's nearly identical to the S4 Max's score on the same task and just 1 point below the S6 Max. However, the S7 rolled over and crushed several Cheerios during our hardwood floor testing, making more of a mess that it then had to clean up. Speaking of messes, though the Roborock S7 picked up 96% of the dog hair on hardwood, much of it was wrapped around the rubber brush roll and the front wheel. Thankfully, both the brush and the wheel were easy to remove and clean. A big highlight of the Roborock S7 is its ability to automatically detect carpet and increase suction accordingly. That increased suction bore out in the scores on 2 of our 3 carpet tests. The S7 earned a perfect score cleaning up Cheerios from our test carpet, even though it resembled a 4x4 on rough terrain as it rolled over cereal pieces before picking them up. Likewise, the S7 was equally impressive in the kitty litter test, picking up 96% of the granules, 1 point better than the Roborock S4 Max. When it came to dog hair, the S7 stumbled, cleaning up 75.6% of the hair. The vacuum tended to roll over the hair, pushing Fidos further into the carpet, thus making it harder for the vacuum to pick up. Roborock S7 mopping performance. Throughout my testing of dozens of robot vacuums and robot mops, I've typically found hybrid vacuum and mop robots to be jacks of all trades but masters of none. The Roborock S7 is a pleasant surprise. First, it's smart enough to avoid mopping most carpets. While the 5mm the mopping plate raises itself doesn't sound like much, I found it was enough to avoid getting my carpet wet. Slightly thicker or mat felt minimally damp after the S7 traveled across it, but less wet than if I'd stepped on it after walking in it or during a rainstorm. However, the mopping attachment tended to catch the edges of area rugs, causing the corner to temporarily roll up underneath the vacuum before the bot freed itself. Like the Roborock S6 Max, the S7 is able to both vacuum and mop at the same time. Unlike the S6 Max, it did both tasks well. The Roborock S7 vacuumed up a pile of breadcrumbs on my kitchen floor and mopped it clean. It was in this instance where I saw the best use of simultaneous vacuuming and mopping. The damp mop pad was able to catch the minuscule crumbs that the vacuum didn't. The Viberize auto-lifting mop pad combined with the carpet detection makes the difference with the Roborock S7. In my Roborock S6 Max review, I lamented that the bot could detect carpet, but couldn't use that information to keep the mop off the carpet. While lifting the mop pad 5 mm isn't going to save every area rug from getting mopped, it does help. In the Roborock app, you can choose between standard mopping, which vacuums and mops simultaneously, or deep mopping. With deep mopping, the S7 will move in a tighter pattern and cover the specified area twice. I didn't notice a big difference in cleaning between the two modes other than the vacuum not running. In both modes, you're able to choose your preferred scrub intensity: close, mild, moderate, or intense. I was able to see and hear the difference in the mop vibration as switched between scrubbing options. According to Roborock, the sonic vibrations range from 1,650 to 3,000 times a minute. By comparison, the vibrating mopping attachment sold by Ecovacs to attach to the D-Botto's Motiate oscillates at 480 times a minute and doesn't raise its pad.